Hey guys, thanks for coming and visiting and hanging out in Fasterproms. This video is totally weird and different for me because normally I'm the guy doing the tuning and all that, and it's just a totally different vibe here. Hope you guys enjoy it. Ste Lee is the tuner, and he is an awesome guy. And before we get to that, I wanted to say thank you guys so very much for your support. Please check out our store, fasterpromsstore.com. Check that out right there. Link in the description. Got hats, t-shirts, lanyards, stickers. Also, we got our theme, Adapt and Overcome. We do that in this very video. It's not just a slogan, it's what we do every day, and in crazy times like these, we gotta adapt and overcome. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get to it. Today is the day, in fact, that we're gonna get this 04 Crown Vic dyno tune. This is our one-day turbo build Crown Vic. Guys, I'm all GM. I just do not know Ford stuff, whatever, and I would rather let somebody that is fluent in what they do tune what they know how to tune. So this is just a little bit of a different language. In a way, it's like, say, hey, take a test in Japanese. You just don't know Japanese, you know. We got a pretty good setup here, so we're really looking forward that this thing should be able to make, hopefully, mid-fives. We'll see how the fuel system is. We got Ste Lee here with Lee Tuning. This guy built some of the fastest Fords in the country. Now this is a little bit of a dinosaur for you, so this is a little bit, maybe a little painful for you?
Yeah, a little bit, not too bad.
I mean, if somebody, you know, I get some people that want me to tune LTs and I'm like, dude, I can't. It's like I'd rather have my tooth pulled with, you know, no Novocaine or something, but maybe this isn't that bad.
Anything for you, Jeremy, you know, anything for you.
Thanks. So, guys, I've actually known Ste all the way back, I think it was what, about, you're roughly 16 or 18 years old?
16, 18 years old, yeah. It was, actually I had one of these, a 2-valve with a turbo on it, but it was a 04 Mustang.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do remember that. Was that orange?
Orange.
Oh my gosh, dude, I can't believe I actually remember the color.
You got it.
And the funny thing is that literally it was on this street, the same street, a shop that's a block away. Yep. So it's actually right where our t-shirt place is. It's literally the same building.
Yeah.
There used to be a Ford tuner there, and man, small world, just crazy coincidences. Right now, he's setting up the base tune for what we're doing. He's got the MAF orifice, he knows the injector size, understands it's got heads and cam on it and all that. So pretty much just creating that starting point, and then from there we're gonna go and tweak, do all the other goodies. I don't even know how much boost that we're on right now, so I'm gonna be watching out there to get an idea.
We'll put a boost reference on the dyno.
Obviously we gotta get shift points right. So all right, Hollis, you said we're ready to roll.
Let's see. Let's figure out. Hopefully it works. Oh, you hear that?
That's a ton better than already. Feels so weird to be out here doing this while somebody else does this.
How's the fuel pressure look?
I looked at the wideband. All right, so we got her leaning up just a little bit right here, and hopefully we don't have a fuel pressure issue. All right, so it's like super weird being in this position. I have bad habits, or I just have habits that are hard to break. So I'm just sitting there watching the wideband the whole time, even though I had one job, watch the boost and the fuel pressure. So nope, we'll get it this next go around here.
Safe side, it had a little too much fuel in it, so
okay.
So we'll work on that. And you know, it tipped in a little fat, but I'd rather it be fat than lean.
All right, so we got off the chart rich right there. Pretty decent earlier on, but as he stabbed it, it went and, you know, fell on its face. So that's kind of why what he's saying is a little bit too rich there, and then that'll clean up. So it's just dying. That's making peak power at like 5,200. So we got a long ways to go. All right, so I'm super curious. What kind of spark advance are we seeing right about now?
We are at about 14 degrees of timing right now. This old technology stuff is a little funny. You gotta cycle the key really fast, otherwise it gives you an error message.
Okay, so what's your plan of attack? You're gonna try and get the fuel map done first? Are we doing a little bit of fuel, a little bit of timing?
So typically where I start is I start a little bit on the fat side of things, and then so we start adjusting the fuel map. Once I get the fuel map perfect, then I start leaning on the timing some.
I like it.
What's your approach, Jeremy, as the tuner?
Dude, it varies with each car.
Varies with each car, huh?
It's just one of those things I'm kind of like, you know, say for example, the earlier part of the map, we had a decent air fuel, so it was like, you know, it was 1301. It's a little lean at first, but it's like, it's no big deal. It's as the turbo's spooling up. So between 4,000 to 5,000, I'd be like, well, I already know what it's going to do. So I would be like, I'd probably throw a degree right there and just see if it picks up.
Right.
Now, the rest of the map, we know that it's super rich, so we need to see what the result is by leaning it out alone. So we don't have too many variables, so I guess that would be my approach.
Everybody has a different approach. I like it. It's always a good thing. I always learn something new from somebody else, and it's a good learning experience.
Okay, man. Assuming this is like 8 to 1 or like 9 to 1, I just don't remember what the compression ratio is, but I got a feeling it's pretty low. It's definitely below double digits.
So typically on 14 pounds of boost, on pump gas, on something like this, I would be fine with seeing probably 17 to 18 degrees of timing.
Nice, nice.
As we'll tune it until we stop seeing power, but I'd rather start low so that way we know when we find our threshold.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, I think you and I talked the other day, and we're basically like, hey, you know, on LSs you get to a certain threshold where you're kind of like, you might have 2 or 3 degrees. It depends on the car. I think this has NGK BR70Fs in it also, so it's a colder plug. That's a really
cold plug, yeah.
So I wanted to try and run it pretty hard so it wouldn't knock, and I mean, it was totally clean out the exhaust, that pull. So
awesome, yeah.
So we're looking great. Even though it was that rich, it's like, that shows you that, you know, that richness doesn't necessarily translate into what you're seeing out the back.
And then on top of that, we have it on the tailpipe, so it's with a sniffer. So typically the sniffer reads a little bit leaner than it should.
Agreed.
So we'll start playing with it, and I think we can definitely get it dialed in. I think we have a good car here.
All right, it sounds like you're about ready to go again.
Yes, sir.
Right there, where again it kind of fell on its face, but we hit 443, 479. Very, very good improvement right there. But the air fuel is at least on the map right there. It's very close. 13 pounds of boost. All right, so
not bad.
Not bad at all. The fueling seems to be good.
Rail pressure is reading at around 55, 56 on the open throttle.
Yeah, I'll watch it again there.
So just make sure you watch regulator pressure. It's typically what I would consider good.
Yeah, let me go look at that right now again. All right, this thing had a hand-me-down Evo intercooler. Let's check it real quick. That's not bad at all. We don't even really have a fan on it. It's doing really good. All right, so each pull we're making some good progress right there. Moving around air fuel, trying to get a couple things figured out. We have an enrichment issue right here, and he's working on that. I'm very confident he'll get that resolved pretty quickly. Let's get the shot. He had an enrichment issue just a moment ago, so he decided to stop. Sounds like he got it all squared away. right, so we ended up a lot richer right there. However, we did pick up some power right there. He did add some spark, so we got to check out. I would be leaning towards the fact that the fuel ate up some of the power that we would probably be getting. So what did you do to change the fuel? You got a lot more fuel in it over here.
Yeah, for some reason, when I changed the spark, it changed the fueling a little bit. I'm not sure why, but I'm correcting some of the drivability too, so I might have moved towards the top of the RPM as well. So we'll work on it.
Gotcha. Now, it sounded like you had an enrichment issue earlier. You stopped, you made a change. It sounded so much better.
Yeah. Basically what we do.
All right. So that small change down low, did that also...
I think it may have carried towards the top as well.
Okay. Kind of makes sense here.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing over there? Everyday thing. All right, so on this pull, Cy and I were just discussing how that curve looks. It's all kind of grainy like that. So pardon the wind, it's a really windy day here right now. But we're finally throwing some spark at it. You know, I'm excited about that.
Definitely putting some time in it and see what happens.
So, from my understanding with the Ford stuff, that kind of interpolates between cells a little bit, right?
It does, yeah. There's a little bit of hunting between things.
So, in other words, if we had a cell that was 12 and a cell that was 14, it would be 13 if we were right in the middle there.
Correct.
Now, does a flat timing curve work pretty good for what you would have like with a turbo map like this?
I typically like to ramp it in. I mean, it would work. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you know, it's better just to ramp it in my opinion. Some modifiers on there.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. So what Cy's saying right now is that we were targeting what, 16, 17, yeah, and we were seeing 13.
But it hit a modifier,
so something there, whether it was air temperature, coolant temperature, there could be a number of other different modifiers, and he just pulled some spark. Well, what was pulling spark away, we're putting it back in now.
Yep.
Yeah, I must have blown off the charge pipe. All right, so we got a little blown off charge pipe there. Give her a little wiggle. You can see it's not in there. So we're gonna have to slide that puppy up and make some more contact there. All right, buddy. I know that that's decent power for one of these, but it's just not enough.
It's not enough. We gotta make more.
All right.
This is how we boost control.
Yes. So we're gonna make a quick little reference change. And if you don't get what you want, you just go more. One hole, itsy bitsy. We're gonna see where that puts us. All right, definitely better. Definitely got more top end. Good job there. Yeah. Finally get there. Yeah. Woo! So what did you observe spark that time?
That was right at 16. So, getting there.
I mean, it's definitely a solid improvement for like, what, 2.5 degrees?
2.5 degrees, you saw a gain of close to 30 horsepower.
Hell yeah. So on that previous pull, we had 19 degrees of timing. We went from 17, so we were like 13 and a half, then 17, and then 19, and it didn't really do anything additional. So we're going back to that because we are potentially gaining some boost right here. There.
482.
That's like about 1.5 pounds, maybe.
Maybe 1.5 pounds. Maybe it needs another one.
I think you're right.
Another one.
I like your style.
Yeah, send it.
All right, so we went from a 455 to 482. Torque looks solid. We're picking up good everywhere, dude.
Need another hole. Needs another hole. Let's do it, Jeremy.
I agree. All right, call me greedy, but I want to hit 500 at least. Got to do this.
Is that a little bigger than normal? Yeah. It'll work.
We'll see. That might be 3 holes. It's what it is. Dude, good job, brother. All right.
That was nice.
All right, so upon review of that last pull there, you saw the exhaust kind of blowing a bunch of pucks. That was spark knock, and he's like, yeah, hey, it definitely did spark knock. So we're gonna try to make sure it does not spark knock this run. Yes, go. Good looking.
I said it's safer for donuts now.
We come across a conclusion that it looks like we're not going to exactly fix our drop right there. We're going to have to mechanically adjust some stuff. So we got some fuel rails in the back. We're going to have to do that another time.
Yeah.
Possibly even add a bigger fuel pump because the fuel rail pressure is going almost to zero. And
as soon as the boost comes in, you know, it just drains the factory fuel rails that are on there. But keep in mind, this car was meant to make 200 horsepower from the factory, so
right,
you know, we're making 500.
Now I think it has a 255 in there, and I'm not even sure if the booster pump's working, so we got a lot of things to go through, but we're making awesome progress. I'm really happy with where we're at. 500 horsepower on a Crown Vic. Hell yes. All right, we just made a fuel pressure setting. I think bypassing that sensor right there. Now we're having a ton more fuel, so we had to reset it. We're over 100 pounds of pressure. Putting in some work, brother.
Yes, sir. Looks like 516 now with a little bit safer tune-up. Just cleaned up the air fuel a little bit up top, and we made that change for that for the fuel pressure to be a little bit more consistent too.
Yeah.
We still have that fuel rail pressure drop, but other than that, it looks a little cleaner up top.
All right, so this should be our last pull. We've been making tweaks after tweaks. I really appreciate the way Sai is going through all this. It's just as if I would do it, putting in the extra time and effort in order to get it just spot on. Dude, you did an awesome job. I want to say thank you so very much. You did an incredibly thorough job. Went over above and beyond. That's my kind of guy. If you guys need anything from this guy, parts, I mean, you sell all sorts of different parts. What do you do?
We sell fuel systems. We have a turbo kit company as well, and we do tuning and also sell Mustang parts.
So you can do remote tuning for a turbo kit,
Yes,
and fuel system and all that on the other side of the world. All right, and that's at Lee Tuning and Racing.
Yes, sir.
So you can check him out on Instagram as well. You're like 5-6 blocks away or something like that,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah,
awesome.
Right down the road.
Awesome. All right, I got a confession to make here. We had an awesome clip taking the Crown Vic out, ripping it on the street, doing some donuts, had some guys, and unfortunately I lost it. I will have to get that back to you guys sometime. Somehow we're going to take some other people out for a ride. Maybe George and Laz when they get back. They are enjoying their vacation right now. God bless those guys. Can't wait to get back to work, though. It's going to be so much fun. All right, guys, it's time to leave you with a quote here. And this one is by George Orwell. It says, "The further a society drifts from truth, the more it will hate those who speak it." It's really tough to go against the grain. And the song I wanted to leave you with is by the Glitch Mob, and it's Our Demons. It's a ripper. God bless you guys. See you next video.
Norman. You guys want this? Want this? What?